myself, I'm talking about like prophetic. I was so amazed by it. I didn't understand what the prophetic was, right? So I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be a prophet? Like what? You know, and so I started reading and all this other stuff. And anyway, I ended up seeing a man on TVN, and I'm not going to call his name. I'm not going to call his name, but I seen a man on TVN, and he had a he happened to have a church in the area. He happened to have a church, and so I went there. There was like 5 people there, literally. I went there, and I just was shocked by the amount of the glory that I felt there. He called me out as a seer. He said that this is who you're called to be, and so I left the church that I was at, and I went to that church. I just went because I wanted to know the apostolic. Now, I will tell you this, had it not been for that church, I would never be who I am today. God had to put me in boot camp immediately when I got saved. Immediately when I got saved, I went to boot camp, okay? And so I lived in Centerville, Illinois, East St. Louis area. I mean, I've always been a woman who just calls it the way it is, all right? And so my mom used to tell me, your mouth is going to get you in trouble, girl, because you just say what it is that you believe. And I do. I always have said just when I think something's not wrong. But immediately I became a docile person in this system. And so when I was in the system, and there's other people who went to the church, and maybe they will join this broadcast, but when I went there, I did feel drawn by the charisma of this leader. And so that's oftentimes how you know something can be cult-like. It's a lot of charismatic activity, as far as somebody is maybe handsome and they may be very, it's just something that attracts you to them, right? But they're really operating from a spirit, but you don't understand that because I was just young, okay? And I'm still young, but I was real young then. And I just came into the prophetic. And so I just went into the church, and I mean, I have an ability to build. I mean, when I tell you I have the ability to build, whatever I put my hands to grows. That's what God has given me, a grace to make things grow. I didn't understand who I was at that time, but since I know who I am now, the leader also knew who I was too. And so he just basically, I would bring 40 people to the church with me, 50 people to the church with me. I grew the church, okay? And so I just really believed in the mission. And so this man would make us sing the same songs. We would sing the same 5, 6 songs all the time in church, okay? The same songs. And I remember one friend, Josh, he's my friend Josh, and he lives in Houston now, and I took him to the church, and he was like, Alexis, something is wrong in here. But I didn't understand it. And so I was having dreams and visions, and I just couldn't understand, because I seen the power of God, right? So when you see people getting healed and you hear the prophetic and all this stuff, you're like trying to understand, how is this possible that this person can be wicked and evil, and at the same time he can be prophetic and powerful?